If I'm with them, una good evening. I don't say don't tell when I see me at this chair. It don't say where we talk. It don't say where we rub mud. To be precise, it's been 10 months. Who would have thought? But listen, we day Nayaso again today. I don't come, and we don't come for go on a very bumpy, emotional roller coaster ride, because that's what it's going to be. But before I sit down inside proper, I go make the CEO kind and tell Fambul them all I do this evening.
Yeah, family Monado, no say don't say we Madam Matilda hide. Finally, we don't go pull another kutuku side me go hide. Say don't come back. The remitters them, they miss Matilda, don't come back. So then that's my me. I can't go sit back in the back chair and I'm going to watch again. So back to you.
Well, on all need for help me tell CEO saying a lie. Una need for help me tell and saying a lie. This roller coaster, yeah, so we all together for riding together as often as we can. But listen, before we sit down inside the topic for today, I want to take some moment and acknowledge some people them while I was away. I know for say for some time they shown up in the come on and what have you, but then for some other time the show been the come on quite frequently. Other priorities, other demands and what have you make so there was an interruption. So I want to take me time to acknowledge the CEO for stepping in and covering. I want to take me time for acknowledge Mr. Kutubu Kouma, Mohamed Kouma, Miss Fadima, Madam Fadima Savage. I also want for acknowledge lawyer Shilon, Mohamed Shilon, because at some point then Seth been stepping to this show and come on and make the show. I also want for acknowledge Madam Kadi Johnson Cole. Yes, I know for say sometimes it feels like I don't forget because it's been so long. But no, for that moment in time where is stepping and when they do the show, the host the show, they come in as commentator. Trust me, all of those who stepped in during my absence, I acknowledge you all, and without much ado, I know for say this person go feel say I don't forget them, but absolutely I not forget them because it play a very significant role, even though una not get for see in face anymore. But I promise una say inside from today till that election they happen, I dey pull another. I dey pull another bale usai I dey pull am. Una trust me. Then I no other person but we are economists in the house, very, soft-spoken man, but a man of lots of wisdom, Mr. Abdul Kagbo, when I'd been the former CEO and founder of VOS. I want for telling Seth Boku Boku thank you for all in hard work, all in hard labor. I want for tell also somebody were very dear to me, where without him I cannot be the person that I am. I am a lucky woman in the sense that I happen for married to one, if not the most wonderful man in the world in my eyes, who I always can call him a linebacker. And to be true to the word, he is my linebacker because he's always there with me, no matter me craziness, no matter I tell him something, I'm like, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm doing. All he will say to me, be careful, take care of yourself. But when it comes down to it, he's there 100%. So to my husband, Mr. Eli Tucci Dono, thank you very much for supporting me. Thank you very much for being there. I do not take your support for granted. To the viewers and listeners, so many of them reach out to me. I get so many phone calls. I get so many texts. Matilda, what's you there? Matilda, what's up? You know they come again? Matilda, you say you get plumber with viewers. Matilda, now what's happening? I hear you say this, I hear you say that. All of the I hear you say, let me just take a moment to say all I hear you say is not true. It's not true. And if now one thing where for don't know but me for now is that if there's something to say, I will say it. But if there's nothing to say, I won't say it. The truth is that I started off taking time off as a result of my work because election at Canada, my own job particularly prohibits me from talking about politics, not only within the country, but because of my interaction with international bodies and Sierra Leone. Also, Canada, they sponsor some Sierra Leone project them. I wasn't allowed to speak politically, whether be it within Canada or another country. So I've been get that silence period there for about 6 weeks. After the election done, personal things them take over. And I all know for say I'm very much into my charities. I'm very much into my, engagement with some organizations in Sierra Leone. When I can see me working, they run, campaign and fundraising for Melkosh Mission. Some time ago, in Ayariwa Cam, they do interview the Hope for Youth founder and what have you. I tell you, my own role within that organization there and so many other things then. And this organization needed me. They needed my help. They needed, to put certain structures in place, to do certain things. And when I give me word to people, I give me word. It means that when I'm in, and when I'm out, I'm out. And I needed to take that time to help write some project proposal, to help write some grants, to push some of the work going on in Sierra Leone, to mentor some women, to mentor some young women and even older women that, are standing on their own but just need a certain push or direction in certain ways. Also in the process, being heavily involved into a diaspora movement where, that process gave me actually cemented my belief in the fact that, there's a reason why I don't do patronage. There is a reason why I do not, align myself to any political party or political leader. I may buy into the ideals of a leader, but I will never buy into the entirety of a symbol or an individual. I may find, similarities to which I kind of, I draw myself to, or I'm drawn towards. So because very quickly I noticed that in as much as we point at politicians, we the individuals ourselves until we stand for the truth, look ourselves in the mirror and speak our truth, and speak our truth with each other and to each other. The inverted, implementation or practice of patronage will sink us and continue to sink us. So therefore, I go through a lot during that me time day, and then when I been nobody and two picking them, two teenagers them were being accused of murder, but they were raped, and in self-defense, somebody left for die or whatever. I was actively involved in that as well, trying to get them free. And thank God, I can sit here and say, lawyers will come testify. The people who worked behind the scenes, with me and others will testify that yes, indeed, she was there 100% playing that role. These kids are free. That's what I wanted. Unfortunately, the extra mile that I would have wished for us to have given them did not happen again, where you learn that patronage, the system of patronage, alliances and ties can destroy the future of our generation. I had to learn that as well in that process. So, yes, I have been silenced through this medium, but doesn't mean that I have been entirely silent through other mediums and other activities. So the one that we say, Matilda, we they pray for you. Matilda, there was every week I receive message, and there are sets of people I cannot call all of their names right now, and so therefore I refuse to call anybody in name. But they say, Matilda, we they pray for you, we need you back in abuse when they come back. Hey, but we don't miss you, but Yusuf, you don't say now, but Yusuf, this, that. I heard your cry, but there is a time and purpose for everything. With that said, as I sit here today, we are exactly 1 year and 14 days, 1 year and 14 days. 1 year and 14 days to accountability. And when I say 1 year and 14 days to accountability, what I mean exactly is 1 year and 14 days when you and I as Sierra Leoneans would go and speak our minds. When me and you, the one right we afforded, we give, it guarantee, it enshrine our law and enshrine our constitution. The 24th of June, 2023, is where you get to look at the current government manifesto and say to yourself, have they delivered that which they promised, that which made me go the extra mile to cast my vote for the symbol? And you also have to look yourself at the mirror and say, have the opposition been the opposition? Have they been the opposition that I had aspired to see? You have to ask yourself two fundamental questions. Wetin them been say? Then give we? And if then give we me life better, it add value to me life? Am I better off? Am I worse off? And the one them we not been win, we supposed for be the gatekeeper, we supposed for be the watchman to the one them we win. Then be the watchman we then supposed for be. So listen, as the year dwindles and we close, and as we go forth, I am sorry that you will not find the Matilda that will say maybe. We get for look we self na the mirror, and we get for the tell we self some truth. I am not here to play games with any political leader. If you can on a platform, you best believe you're going to open up, you're going to speak the truth as best as you can, and the people will evaluate you for what you are. But we're going to have frank, honest conversations. It's not a matter of pointing fingers of what have been done and what have not been done, but it is also taking ownership of what you have done in the process of what have been done and what has not been done. So with that, I say unakabo. This na Salone issues. And today, we dey also for talk about the fuel price. I want to make we look at the fuel price from two angles. I want to make we look at the fuel price from not only the people in Sierra Leone affected, but I also want to make we look at the fuel price from we where they Obayaso, where they support families them where they Obayanda. Because when there's a fuel price, you know that it's a trickling effect. It's not just about the pump. It's about a whole lot of things. So I go work for you from una, waiting una feel, waiting una think, and as usual, be honest. Be honest, stand in your truth. I go pass on to CEO, Mr. Tarawali, what you get for say.
I would say welcome back. Like we say, people that go for talk their own. At least if you talk, say how you don't get problem, problem with the viewers. But one thing people not going to understand is that the code from day one, the team is a takeover. We always tell people and say viewers, we just the owner, but not we own. And I think say one didn't have viewers go attest to that. Say we not get much say in there at all. It's not about whether we like or whether we hate. It's about whether we go do the job. We opinion no matter now. Everybody free to express their opinion as much as they can, because we want for this platform be a neutral platform wherein people them feel comfortable. And second, that make they encourage politicians for count the money anyway close to we, because we want this be a platform for Sierra Leoneans outside and able come. We will agree on so many things, but at the same time, we able to know why you think the way you think, make you know why they think the way they think. So that way we move Sierra Leone. For the longest time, we all know say if they tell you we are young when they come up now, we all been get SLBC in Sierra Leone and that's in SL BS by then before they go to SLBC. Not only within government tell you that term in anymore within government let you know now you know. And we say thanks to the AYV and other people and the 98.1 then come forth and pave the way for make people get a different view. And as technology go, we know say the voice and the change. And we believe say maybe next 5 or 10 years, things are going to change back. And I believe say they all change for the better. We're in now, you don't need for gonna AYV, you don't need for gonna the studio for people who hear voice. You left any side of the world, people they hear voice. People I don't know me ever know about sitting voice in our social media because of them platform here. So we said no, so we ever hand them over to next generation other people. I think so they hand them over, we earn something way a better that we will push Sierra Leone forward. Because at the end of the day, my feeling not going to push Sierra Leone forward, my bias is not going to push Sierra Leone forward. Now the truth and the perspective the way the inside we were in, we know say yes, this thing I like him, but you know right. Come out and talk about him. This time you don't possibility. I love him to death, but when you do bad, I therefore stand and say Salone is above you. I mean, the only way that you go push and continue forward. When we come overseas, we know we see how they train them picking them. Then taking them for me, they know say not all that country they better pass them country here. Not to say all that country they better pass them, but that's why they train them to make them know say the only country where you get now this one, and you country say you come out. Now the only country that's why you go there, you get our dignity and respect. If that country they better, you don't better, no matter if you did it or not. Now the same thing makes driver followers you don't then share day in and day out. Like okay, see, most of the time we can take some of the bad pressure for people, but this is the job. We can't do that. Because we also that make we know say we are accountable to the people them as well. As much as we look after politicians, but we say for what you say for what do they do and be accountable. So again, thank you for coming back. Like I say, this is our family forum. People like you go far as much as they want, because at the end of the day, let we look at what's important. Family is more important. Your job and your family come first. But then for the take care of the entire first. They're able to take care of somebody else. Okay, not take care of yourself, but take care of the country. So you have to take care of the job and the family, and make people as they can go as long as you want, and we will also wait time which will come back and push Salone forward. Now, So let me get back to your question. I'm talking about the fear of stuff. I believe say Medina one of them shows there where I will still remember vividly where this year was just beginning at Ukraine, where Mr. Shilon, Madam Fadima, and I think Zubair women also did have show they were join them briefly one day. And I tell them say this year going to be a world problem where we are going to face the problem going forward because of we all know say natural gas high volume they come up from Ukraine and Russia back now other world power where we know say then they are responsible with gas. But the problem is that we know say we in Africa going to feel more. And if you're not a president where in power right now, inflation going to eat the world. You get to take that most of that blame there. I know people will come for defend you, they go try. But at the end of the day, that man where they not where it in na funkia or fubaya be that village and that you know what's inflation. The what they know what they can tell all the time and say petro on there, we petro there, all thing on go up. Now you ask them, I mean, what you make petro they go up and petro candle, not a young problem that one you go, you know. What you know say petro candle, the market for what's safe. Now outside this administration gets small problem. Because we say this time politics, na gamble can gamble. So they can play them fine, so they can play them bad. Now to be fair to them, not to all two they happen to go blame them. But at the same time, anytime we think go fine, they can take the credit. They not get nothing for do with that. If the gas price go down right now, then they take that credit and say, oh, I see we don't make gas price go down. Even though something not so they
yeah, just like that page. Yeah.
Yeah, so when gas price go up now, can enjoy them when they can watch for distance themselves from the price and therefore compare the world to the prices and the at the end of the day, you can compare all you want. That man may not care but he compares. That part not care but he compares. They're not picking up for it. The money where it come in, how much it make compared to how much it spend, important to them. Because if they make less than what it spend, it get for going to poverty. So then going to look at you as the government, because when they can't even take that subsidy off the gas and the gas, people may not get alarmed that they want to be careful because eventually this is going for catching up. But they may try for play the game for put some money towards the free education when they talk say, so people will see like say the education side because of the pay tuition, it will offset the gas and the rice. I don't think say it play well because they normally anticipate say coronavirus may get for come. Now this thing don't work. Coronavirus can take over now, they never control that problem there. Slowly, this Ukraine business don't come. Now, the question is, we gas now Salone, Ukraine they come out or now Russia they come out? I will say 95% of the time, no. Now the Gulf of Guinea, most of we only come out. In fact, we not think that only that we they use it, the third grade, now we they use. We don't use the premium and all that in the day. But at the end of the day, the world market, now like one now, I will say now one pala. Because which happen overseas, we not get nothing for them, we not get a degree. In the field, so if then they suffer now, yeah, obviously we get for suffer. Is it fair to the administration in power? No, it's not fair to them because not something that they're not going to control them fully. But at the same time, now una make all them promises and I can take credit to the thing go good, we go bad. When I go protect the play. When I support them, we come in we follow compare America and Salone, fine. But if it's all compare, then compare the
I know one for cut you off. I know one for cut, but in as much as yes, we understand that certain environmental, situation, external factors, you cannot really blame government or entirely attribute it to the fault of government. No. But these were the same people when I remember and they stand up to the World Bank and say, me not they take subsidies. Fuel subsidies away from me people then because I know what it will lead to. If it is the case that you not give with this grant or you not qualify with for them just because I refuse to do that, so be it. I rather take this penalty than I say yes, I remove the fuel subsidy and put money na me people them aid where I know for say I'm not going to do the right thing right now. Right? Over here, when things get extremely hard, you have government subsidies, do we not?
Yeah, we do all the time.
When the coronavirus got so difficult, people were losing their jobs, people could not go to work, things were closing down. Una na the US, all man receive check of 2,000, not so.
Of course. No,
Well, no. I'm not going to the tax. I'm not going to the tax side of it. No. Wait. I'm not going to the tax side of it and your income and what have you.
No,
I'm just trying to make a point here,
we
right?
talk about the stimulus. The stimulus we talk about. We all receive the stimulus package. And make the laugh. Say,
Yeah.
Salone government will give everybody.
No. That they try for confirm right now. Say inside the US, every citizen of the US gets $2,000. Now, whether that is tax deductible at the end of the year, that is another story. You know what I mean? Inside Canada, then get waiting I mean call the in fact I don't forget the scheme, but now the same kind of thing, but the way we then set them up now, if you dey make certain type of money and you work during a certain period and you earn certain type of money, you not qualify for them. Like me, so me not being qualified for apply for the Canada their own form of their own stimulus package just because of the salary where they earn and waiting me man they make put together. There is no way we could have applied for it. But on the flip end, there were people who are not so lucky to, earn the type of earnings that we are, who qualified and who, for over 2 years, that's how they survived the pandemic. Right? Now, when we talk about Salone, we not get such system. Here is a situation where even given all of the donor money that came in, all of the money from the European Union, the World Bank, WHO, all of the donations and what have you, we are left with a situation where at the end of the day, the NACOVAC, they say, then get deficit. So we find ourselves in a system where accountability is lacking, innovation is lacking, and how you call it, mindful spending of unlimited resources is also lacking. Where do you begin?
Well, let we check first overseas. What they do? They get we all know they get political forecasters. When they forecast the problem and know say okay, so and so, then they even put scenarios. Then they get when they work on the scenarios. Then just like this COVID, they may not already anticipate long term. Say some things get for come. So if you come, what we get for you? In fact, the reason why make it hit America too much and because of Trump, downplay them because of political reasons. If not to that, they put the thing they put in place. Let me see for it's America, they hit America. Now compared to Sierra Leone, we not get political. We political analysts them. And again, most of them are lost in law. We mean that they fake degree they come in now. Fake degree they walk into the NCR now. You see?
Okay. Let me stop you right there. I promise Dr. Lahai, I will not speak about fake degree.
I don't go into that. What I tell you now. Now when we look at somebody go for forecast say so and so thing for happen, what would they anticipate and how we go tackle them? In fact, I can find I can this year. I know the people in Salone they talk about how they tackle the COVID. That Salone tackle COVID than any side of the world. And I ask them, give me the statistics of how many people are vaccinated in Sierra Leone. How many people are fully diagnosed with COVID? Not day. So this is all political games. At the end of it, the people still die. We get death, but they never diagnosed putting killing people in there. So how we not going to know COVID kill them? This all here important in a country. Now, when they talk about the economy, when they talk about the economy, at the end of the day, the government within a power, whether it now on a fall to, not to on a fall to, it's easy for somebody play because the same game that's been played Ebola time, where APC may go through the similar things where the SFP play with the APC. The average citizen not able to know the intricate of what in the Ebola may cause in the world. They look at almost in the APC may cause them. But the same team now flip now to themselves. Now they need on the defense every day time for defend, and now it's on top of inflation. If they don't know say the GUC said they go through things now because when you watch the UK right now, you see what's in Boris Johnson they go through right now. So you get to go for better and say they can't worry for one of a kind. This is what they talk about say for being independent is important. But within the country side, where man they go now they go celebrate donor money. But the conditions they always talk at them program here, what are the conditions they take the money under? But then the politician they tell you, and you the country will say, "No, give me some money." Okay, yes, we understand. But what are the conditions where they give this money? Now we know. Because at the end of the day, now then tell they come into play now also. Because my then condition was something when I go on, we're not going to do them because they don't time now. And we said, that money they go and cap around. What man they give you money for let you get advantage over you, so young people have go better. So young people are able to enjoy that certain, they make them pay for it up front. So if you collect, now you get for suffer. So now you go find out say the good thing like we say incumbents in Africa, we all know things happen with election time they come. We understand that. So it's until the only thing that they know more. But it go for be tough because it's easy enough for the opposition can play any kind of game it go fit in. Because when somebody go sleep angry, you may not promise until they say angry boku. So that they come out, they can't open, they can't make farm, they can't do this. Now they not see them.
Well,
So
right now, we're talking about Angeboku. I remember one of the last shows I did was, the World, I believe it was the World Food Organization. Where can we say 4 point something million people them na Salone are hungry.
yeah.
They are not food self-sufficient. So it no matter what in the government say, it no matter who Toma bomb, Yama bomb, Yaka bomb, it doesn't matter. There are hard facts to back these things. There are evidence to show. Now we also get a situation where 74.22 trillion now we dey right now in deficit na the country. How did we come about that? What do we have to show the people that this is why we have this deficit? Now, as far as I'm concerned, I think this is the second or third time fuel price is being increased in Sierra Leone.
It can continue.
And it will continue.
Yeah,
Now, there are detrimental effects to these increases. It's not just about the immediate cost. It's about the trickling down, the spiraling effect.
Yeah.
Right? What you see at the pump, yes, it's registered right there. There are those who can afford. Now that make yesterday, the one where they follow me, Nami, Facebook, they will clearly see when the press release came out and I posted it. I said, make God help the one them where they walk in righteousness and truth. Because when you walk in righteousness and truth, I believe, say, God will help you absorb a lot of things. But truth be told, inside all this fuel crisis, the first one way happened last year, this one way they happened, so during the whatever, during the Arab, tussle with the American, when that journalist was assassinated, and it was said that it was the Emiratis who were behind it and what have you, and then they create a fuel stream. Yes, the prices went up, we felt it a little bit and what have you, but how will affect Salone? Who say Salone in own supply come up and that supply chain day for make it affect Salone? How come the neighboring countries then surrounding Salone, where they all them feeders them, now the same side they all they get their supply from? Why is it that they were not affected? Why is it that they not raise prices?
No, well, I think Liberia is because I see Ghana self. I see article about Ghana. They say the young price don't go up as well, and Liberia. I don't see them two countries that they.
This is for this one. This is for this one. I'm speaking about the last one. No prices were raised. The last one, no country not raise them price except Salone. Guinea has not even raised their price, even with everything going on right now. Guinea still has not raised their price.
But the last one make a come in. What happened now? The talk say competency in government and governance is very, very important. You remember you talk about subsidies. The problem with the government of Sierra Leone, they still they fight for raises the revenue. The taxes where they put on, the way they levy on this gas price continue. They don't at this point the movie if they don't take the taxes off the gases for now and able for give some kind of relief to the people enforced until everything stabilized. They know they do because they want for is revenue election they come. They want for jump with all and so many projects and not open all kind of projects. Let me get ask for the deficit because they want for show something for the 4 years better to not show. So now they just take the money, they waste time, they pump all over because elections. I want for begin show with the road, and now I want for begin show with the bridge, I want for begin show with the airport, I want for show with this and that, and how don't put the money. And Salone is not always the for that thing. So with this gas price, the taxes they not take them off. But that's the problem. They need to dance around now for one because they need that money as well.
Before I read the press release we come out yesterday, I want to make we watch a video clip. Now this video clip, I want to put a disclaimer on this video clip. I want to say, in as much as I agree with what the person is saying, my focus in showing this video, my sole interest in showing this video as a source of education because it aligns with my background research dealing with the fuel aspect of things and the electricity supply aspect of things. I'm not looking at the dollar. I'm not focusing on the politicization of the statement made, but I'm just looking at the pure analysis when it comes to fuel, electricity, and subsidies. How it ought to operate, how it operated, and how it should have de facto come into effect in situations like this. Make we listen.
Coming out to the electricity, we are in the electricity Indian country. We may get, first of all, in Freetown, we may get two major suppliers of the electricity. When, EDSA may not unbundle. NP don't unbundle to EDSA and EGTC. So for EGTC, then they deal with the generation. We are in they do the supply from the Kington Power Station, where they give about 36 megawatt of electricity, and Blackwell Road they give about 15 megawatt electricity. Then you may get the ADAX, we're now in a Sunbird, a new company. We then save me they give about 15 or to 16 megawatt. We put all landed together, 70 something megawatt of electricity. We go supply the city and other places. We see there was a project in the way for Bumbuna Phase 2 and 300 megawatt electricity. We down 300 megawatt electricity because some disturbance we get for the past government may bring the car power ship we APC not ever use. APC not ever connect them, but it was a contract for made and day for 1 year. Whilst Bumbuna Phase 2 they kick up. And then we can do away with the car power ship. So now been the arrangement that, but APC never use the car power ship because we're not being done by then. But we suicide the government, this new government coming, President BOC, then they come with real investors, then cancel the contract and everything with the Kington Power Station, when a 36 megawatt machine, then cancel the one with Blackwell Road Agreco, when I've been about 15 to 16 megawatt, and even somebody's not been supported through the plantation Magbulka when at the Magba sugarcane plantation, because we they make sure that then trading with Sunbird for me they use for fire the turbines them up. We see all them things and they don't go down. When all them things and they don't go down and the government come in and stop EGTC for use Black Corridor and Kington, we people are going redundant. EGTC go important. And they supply no electricity, not even one small Kaba Tiger generator, no day. So waiting a result to then go on to the car power ship, of which the presidential spokesman, I go quote him, Yusuf Kokotoma Sandy, me say, they don't do a very good job. They negotiate with the car power ship. They deal with the car power ship better pass the one way they may get with APC. Fine. Me take am so, but how comes you gonna go negotiate a better deal with less than waiting it was, and now electricity tariff don't become 3 times higher than what it was before? So can you come back to the people and tell them that you're lying, or can you come back to the people and tell them exactly waiting you not tell them we you know? So how could that happen? So we see that given the car power ship, I like to talk about this because the car power ship. Now, import electricity. You provide job for the Turkish people. You send the money to the Turkish government or the Turkish businessman. And when you pay with dollar. And the dollar where you pay with, you put more pressure on your economy and the foreign exchange in your country. So at the end of the day, all that money they go with people with the EGTC, when they work like NP and within Falcon Bridge. Government they pay there every month in, month out for nothing, for doing nothing. At the end of the day, with the import light in this country, at the end of the day, they count as we import on the balance of trade deficit, when they make we get a weaker economy. When I make right now with the suffer blackout, so and we get all this problem. Last year again the same problem in kicking. It's in our make them get for make the machines, and in our payment to the machines, we don't know. Let them address all what you want. We mean get lights before. Let them make sure they them provide light for we. We do not want any literature. If they're able to make them better, let them make them. And we talk about the West African power pool, where people in the jump for West African power pool with the Bumbuna phase 2. If we get Bumbuna phase 2, we just sell electricity rainy season to the other African countries, and we get that foreign exchange. Then at the end of the day, when dry season come, we able to supply yourself electricity. If we need more, we buy from the one in the. So at the end of the day, not to we money no more, they go to them. Then save your money, they come to it. But when they cancel the Bumbuna phase 2 project, so now with the West African power pool, people in the jump for now they buy electricity. We go get for the buy electricity. They import them from other countries, and at the end of the day, waiting get for Apple, we get a weaker economy and with foreign exchange, they may come through the door. Now we see the president in 4 years they come. Wait till we don't be faced with now fuel crisis and fuel problems. Me, most of my vehicles they use now diesel vehicles. Now I can't use, and unable to use me diesel motor car them because diesel not in country, and we see. They make statements saying that because of the war with Ukraine and Russia make the fuel price go up. That is so true. Nobody may question that. Because in the fight and Russia are the third most oil producing nation of the world, definitely the price, because we don't sanction them, then supply may come in the prices and go up. Factors of demand and supply, nobody can question that. But on the other hand, when fuel go $104 a barrel at the stock market, 9 governments raised petrol to 12,000 leones na Salone. In 2014-2015, fuel go to $107 a barrel na Salone. I mean, at the world, fuel na Salone be 6,000. What's the difference? So, maybe advise the president, let go back, talk to the people who are in the Petroleum Regulation Agency before, talk to the people who are in the Ministry of Trade, let them come and show you the pricing formula. Because something they were hiding inside that pricing formula, where people they know, we make the prices and go up. If they sell them, now the stock market at that time $107 and sell fuel for 6,000 leones, now in $104, they raise them to 12,000 leones. Fuel go to $118 now, so they raise the fuel price go to 15,000 leones. In 2008, 2009, people can do their research. Fuel go to the highest, $145 a barrel. Fuel was 3,750 leones in country, na Salone. And we see other countries, then Guinea with the next door. From where Alpha Conde in our government, take Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya don't come. Fuel na still 10,000, they no move stitch. Other countries around the sub-region, Gambia and other places, and feel still the same way, because waiting government can do in them cases in the things the way government gets into them particular pricing formula, say they get environmental charges, and get road maintenance fund, and get ECOWAS tax, and get for look at demurrage, and get for look at storage, all them things. The government they take all them things and they out and reduce the tax and drop the tax, so that the people in the body will be taken away from the people. Because you know, say this Russia and Ukraine thing, it's just temporal. When it don't, when fuel go down, then you can kick them back in and start for running, because fuel like composite product. Once you allow fuel for go up, you want for the fuel be $1.10. Fuel will never be $1.10 for a long time. It's just a short term, because once you move them to $1.10, like when fuel go 12,000, we see the dollar move from 1,100,000. It don't go to 1,250,000 now in the market or so. Once they don't move the dollar again to the fuel to 15,000, we see the dollar again get for chase. I mean, very short time, within the next 2-3 months, I'll tell you, say dollar price go to 1,500,000, because when you raise fuel up, transport they go up, price they go up, gari, sugar, milk, water, agree, everything they go up. And once they go up, the factors demand and supply. If they move with everything, cement, stress, everything they go up. And now dollar then they take for buy most of them things in there. And once it go up, the dollar self they move up, and your currency they devalue. So at the end of the day, you come back to say, you go find out, say, the 15,000 leones juxtaposed to a dollar go worth something like 90 cents again. So you don't have any choice now for moving back. So I think, say, with President Bio, there's a lot much more to do.
Okay, people. So Mr. Tarawali, I don't know if you agree with me. The side with me really be instead of the transaction of electricity, hydro back and forth, between countries, and how all done they work. It is not as simple as he puts it, right? It is not as simple as he puts it. but I don't want for going side down there, right? Because there are complexities to it where, honestly, one thing I go agree with her is that if Sierra Leone been done position themselves properly, with all of the water beds them where we get around Sierra Leone, we were in a good position. Had we made better use of Bumbuna 1, we would have been in an excellent position to exploit Bumbuna 2 to our advantage. But then a debate for another day. For talk about this kind of thing, so I go need somebody like, Dr. Akande Kole Yunkela. Where in the talk the composition, me they talk the layman yon. But that's a debate for another day. But waiting, I want to make we focus on. Now something where it say, where even Nayaso stand true. When prices rise up to a certain degree, the governments, they intervene. And they make sure say, because remember, the actual pump price where they see, the price where they see now the pump, it gets embedded cost where they inside.
Yeah.
Like what I can say, they hide small thing there inside. It's just like when you go buy plane tickets. When they buy plane tickets, that money where they pay, not because for just the travel, no more car. No. All the small, the airport taxis, the diesel, the flying over, license agreements, the all thing embedded inside, we can to that total where they pay for that flights there at the end of the day. The landing fees then where then they pay for landing at the airport and not for free. Plane they not they land na people the airport for free. Then they pay. Then they pay revenues there, and all of the revenues then they embedded. It's the same with the same fuel thing, as a commodity. Then get embedded cost there inside. So waiting then can don't pass smack for people then. Governments they say, waiting. For make we not put too much stress, for make we not put too much burden on the people there, make we take care of the embedded cost then they. So that the people will only be responsible for the bare bone. Which I think in this situation, especially this point where we did so with governor, where they say now for pull 3-0, then you bring and can down. Then now fuel price pumping don't go up. How are they going to adjust? How are they going to do the arithmetic? How are they going to balance it so that the average person, Mami Sampana Bumpene, go get in for it? This is where we were in this country. I don't forget the village in him. Where 9 people they live inside a hut because they did not have a place to stay in Sierra Leone. 9. They fed on leaves sometimes to survive in Sierra Leone, in this current day Sierra Leone, where people they eat shrimp, shawarma, lobster. Then they take private plane, they go and they can't funfen. There are people who go without meal and who have to look for herbs in the forest that can provide them nutrients or hold their stomach up. I left the floor to you.
Yeah, so basically what the type of talk now is that I believe the next possible way to aspire for be present at Salone need for pay attention to the NTR. Because at the end of the day, you can compare you have for campaign. You can see what you have for say where you go into power. The reality is far different from what you see as a opposition or somebody where not just a candidate. This is what we need to talk about and very, very important. Where I think this president really struggle with today. It is struggle with them because like I say, them taxes then they need them. It need the taxes for push the country forward. But at the end of the night, it don't tie himself so much there, which I feel sorry for him as a leader. Maybe look at it right now in bed right now. I want them to sleep right now at night because this is a toughest time for any leader right now, most especially when say we can't face a upcoming election next year. And the way the thing they go look like say every day now bad news to the egg. You know, it hard for the good news. Even when they try, people want for kind of social media showing say the price at work, but the thing when they go wrong, boku every kind of like. If to me at the beginning I talk, I'm say they don't mean come even in manifesting also they don't come with a full plan. I don't even think they put APC because it take a long time for that. If you can see they begin put things in place, they may just when people complain, they go to money, they watch it, they just go and fix stuff them around. I didn't see how they come to this IMF. What they talk about today, IMF one more are collecting revenue here because the only way they could give you money, they come. I think one time when they talk about water key, we went on the ask why people not get free partner Salone. I tell somebody say it's not possible to get free partner Salone because that revenue they for the IMF go with the money, we go for the net, they go for no so they get a certain revenue at the country. They only just give money, so they want to say they will raise some money somewhere else. And water key and Lunge airport the two major places and they right in a Salone, who they will raise that revenue there, so they don't ever get a free port today. And now you find out they go to the extent of begin put taxes on people away, they not the shops them because they need all of that money here. For later they will get that one from IMF. Now the conditions the IMF don't put on we don't levy on we now. This is where they get stuck. This is where we move. Now this all 10 is 4 years they only fight for please the white man instead of the people in back home. When they talk about say when I go pay white man we can't pay public system all around the world for make one look fine. At the end of the day, the reality on the ground now ain't for make you win election or lost elections. So you get for be careful. You're okay for please the white man, but that might on the ground. Now the person now one day way the main person because I don't care how much you walk. Now they go for sure you walk and they go for make sure say you can never make sure say you don't walk. Now these are the problem today. Like I say, I'm not gonna put everything on the foot of the administration. Say, oh, that didn't cause up. But the plan the way they fail for plan long time ago. Now the cripple now don't got all that in foot now. So this thing on the boat, we don't know what's at the end inside today. Because we say America say not able to know who's how we go right. Canada don't know, the UK don't know. Who's how we not Salone able to know who's how we go. And this thing, you look at the economy for the get worse and worse and worse when it closer to the election. We think forbid the next plan. Now we'll not get lights, we'll not get water. Let me say the water. Now I don't say the bluff together. Now they only say the show because recently you know they go where the fuel price, where they go jack the price, they go begin showing one refinery. They say no go fix the refinery. The question I ask is what now fix the refinery? What you get for do for me? Well, not get gas for put inside the tank and then they go show us an go maintenance the refinery. Oh well, what would not fix the refinery? The gas they can't go down.
Well, they say they're not being placed for put reserve.
Well,
because the refinery been done well. So the need for make sure say they repair the reserve tank. And now when they don't repair the reserve tank, we go get reserve in the country.
We don't even get the money for buying the gas in the first place. Where we go buy the gas? This is the question I was talking about. You can get the refinery you want, but we don't even get the money for buying this bulk gas and go put it there in the first place. So, I mean, I got happy for longer if I know we say reserve because America released them recently. But again, the point is, let me tell you this thing is, Africans, we are so wasteful. This is reality. Every single month, them guy V8 in the drive. V8, they all. When you go buy motor overseas, all na V8. When I sit on a game, the man with the Guna na V6 and they use.
Could you imagine?
So imagine how much
we not forget for ride a V8 for buy motor car a V8. It mean for say you road for be so good, and also not to then kind lengy road than they drive on. Those V8, those are power engine. We mean for saying a long distance driving you need them for. You don't need them for inner city driving. You don't need them for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour driving. You need them like where they go, then 10 hour, 15 hour, 17 hour, 20 hour journey. Those machines, I call them machines, are built for. Even Ayaso, when you buy them kind of motor car then they, honestly, you don't waste your fuel. You are wasting your fuel because you are not driving the engine to its maximum use.
But what's the example? Even the advanced country, then they go to alternative gas, then they go to hybrid right now. They use electricity. They use electric, or they use like sugarcane and other things will make alternative gas because they don't say
Yeah.
in the long run, yes, it puts much pressure on the economy. Because just imagine how much we they pay for the politician, then you gas every month. From the president to in Cook to in himself to every single parliamentarian, every single minister, the amount of fee and what they pay for them every single month. How we going to raise this
Yeah.
money here? How we going to raise
Exactly.
it? It's not going to work. Because we're not getting the way for get the revenue. I mean, they're not going to ever take the subsidy off the gas. They're not going to take out I mean, long go for the continue for pay. What's a key? The goods they're going to be expensive. At the end of the day, that poor man get for suffer. Because we don't go elect so much elites them will not get one common sense and not get no sympathy for the people left. And they only left the economic cars, then they go to tell people to carry for bluff. They say COVID multiply. They say money for COVID. They go to more pollution out of weed. They say for I don't know if an ambulance and go also for we waiting. Me no know. You can. Well, the reality don't come now. It don't begin to come now.
People, we don't they talk. We don't they talk now for 1 hour. I want make una can tell me what una feel, how una feel, what's your take. And remember, this is not only they affect the people in at home. We self na so it they affect we. So the phone lines are open. While I read the press release that came out yesterday, the phone lines are open. Una calling, una give una own views them as to how una personally feel say, those things should be managed. How waiting are some of the ramifications them una feel say this price increments go get on people them waiting as alone as well as people them waiting abroad. Because don't forget, a lot of remittances goes to Sierra Leone. A lot. On a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis. So I go begin read the press release while I wait for Yeri from Una. Wait to no get for say. Okay, so this press release here so say Salone press release. Maximum retail pump price announcement June 2022. The Petroleum Regulatory Agency with the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and the oil marketing companies have jointly reviewed the maximum pump prices of petroleum products, which will be enforced effective 9th June 2022. Sierra Leone's fuel prices are adjusted monthly, which is driven by international factors, which includes refined product at a predetermined price set at global market, including cost of importation, shipping cost, and premium. Okay. Oil prices continue to climb as global supply declines. The average international oil reference price has increased by 90.59% and 102.59% for petroleum and diesel, respectively, within the same period in 2021. So now, then they put the periods them right, and they show now the increments them between petrol and diesel, right? And then put the different stats then they for make una see. So in May we have 1,222.46 for petrol, and then we have 1,809.30 for diesel. In January 2022 we have 802, 53.05%, and then in for the diesel it was 734.69, a 47.99%, and in May 2021, it was 644.01, 90.59%. For diesel, it was 536.70, 102.59%. Smoothing mechanism. As at 31st May 2022, the cumulative smoothing mechanism amounted to a negative balance for petrol, diesel, kerosene, and fuel oil as implemented in the pricing structure through stabilization funds. Now, they go on to say the uniform price adjustment factor of 70, I hope that 70 leones remain protected to ensure uniform pump price throughout Sierra Leone. Accordingly, pump prices for June 2022 have been adjusted as follows, and then they list it. Petrol will be 18,000 leones, diesel will be 18,000 leones, kerosene will be 18,000 leones, fuel oil will be 18,000 leones. So, my question here is, as you all call, if you all happen to be oil engineers, mechanics, if you happen to work in the gas industry, oil and gas industry, and you understand these things better than I am, for me, I don't understand why make all of the prices are the same when we know their duties and functions are different. I don't understand why make kerosene for be the same price as petrol. I don't understand why make petrol and diesel for be the same price. I don't understand why make fuel oil and kerosene for be the same price. So callers, as you call, please bear this in mind if you happen to be an oil and gas expert. Explain this to me. If you happen to be, if you happen to own a fuel station, either in the sub-region or in Sierra Leone, please also give us some insight as to how these calculations are done and how these prices are arrived at, other than what has been explained from the international market side of things, which I don't think really truly apply to our situation. Okay, Mr. CEO, I'll let you.
Yeah, this is pure mismanagement. You will find out, say, we get plenty of people where they claim say they learn plenty book and they get PhD, they get this, they get that. At the end of the day, not so the book matter, the common sense approach now matter, because now common sense make book, not to book make common sense. We all know see the world now two things they drive a country to a better country or a worse country. Fuel price and the dollar price. And dollar and fuel, it goes side by side in the world. Then things are very, very important. So the hardship will always come from the taxes and also about the dollar also, because now you also mentioned about the new currency when they come out. They bet on, say, if they take the zeros out, they make the money sound smaller. If I don't make people that will feel psychologically, people that will feel, say, the president make big changes them, it don't improve the economy, because now if instead of you say million, now 1,000 you get for the call. So until they buy 10,000 at 10, yeah, 10 million.
But true, when you call 1,000, but at the end of the day, the paycheck that you take home remains the same.
The same. But you see, I think so they try to play on the psyche on the people and systems that you go walk closer now. So then we will say, okay, well, don't take some of those zeros out and then in the day. And also bet to Ghana time, it work for Ghana, because Ghana said they use bigger currency. When they go to smaller currency, then the psyche change, people begin to do something faster, and then next thing you know, the economy start feeling better. I not see that it happened to be
devalued. They actually said what they were doing. They devalued their currency so that they can rebuild, right? I not study a lot of economics, so But I understand waiting that mean, waiting and do, and how we help for bump them up slowly and bring them to this crescendo or this point where they can now compete in the global market. Many years ago,
now,
Ghana could not have gone to Sweden and say,
no.
we are taking back our cocoa and we are going to do it in-house and then export it to you guys. But now they're in a position to do so because they've done the work.
But you see, what in Ghana do was a smart thing with the you can say the world is traded on gold. Ghana gets enough gold. Yeah. They fix their reserve very, very well. Now let me look at Sierra Leone. With the claim, I can tell someone say, oh, we reach, we get boxer, we get water, we get diamond, we get gold. Show me what now we reserve in diamond and gold. Because we're supposed to get one of the best economy in the world. With them thing what we get now, we continue. If we get the reserve, what's now the reserve government on keep in diamond and gold for able to trade with international and safety. This now people that do economics will tell you that them what are the valuable things now. But you make right now America they find it difficult to go after Russia because Russia know you get the certain thing with the whole. They trade in so many gold from Africa and other side and put them as a reserve and also all the gas as a reserve. So then two things easy America don't care for battle, they know they work because then we all want them. So we talk, say we get diamond. We don't go take foreign company and carry down. What's the company don't do for we? What are the benefits we don't get from them diamond and the country? At the end of the day, on one side we only get revenue. Then we talk recently how ever since in life that now one company don't can pay something billions and millions. Which I reflect on the people of Sierra Leone. This is not just the SFP government, but even from the previous governments, them all. This is how the politicians don't all the money where they pay royalty. Then the pocket them they go. We know they see them. So at the end of the day, the average
so how valuable is your commodity? You may have a commodity, but how valuable is that commodity? And what's the demand for that commodity? Is it a tradable commodity? Is it a negotiable commodity? Ghana has a tradable and a negotiable commodity. Sierra Leone has tradables. Tradables. When I hear me English, I not say tradable. I say tradables. Commodities. I not say commodity, I say commodities. But how have we exploited those commodities to our advantage? How have we positioned ourselves using those tradables to our advantage?
I mean, the truth of the matter is that there is no end in sight to the suffering of the poor people in Sierra Leone. The government get for try also get for try in order for pay a dividend because this is not a dilemma for them. They're not going to take the subsidies off because they need the money for running the country. When they left the subsidies, the people are going to continue for suffer. So this is where we don't find ourselves now today. And we don't see any end in sight towards this crisis, this fuel crisis, because in America right now, most places are $4 to between $4 to $6 for a gallon of gas. So compare that to say gas may already there in Salone past America because the subsidy not be there anymore. Now you look at what the and the long-term effect. Many people they talk about right now. We can talk about the long-term effect. Now, Sierra Leone, how much is going to affect people and we sell.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, like everybody is feeling the pinch. It's not like people are not feeling the pinch. Everyone is feeling the pinch. My motorcar before for film, $60. Now it's over $100 to fill it. Same thing, same tank, not for say they're trying to expand or whatever, but that's just the reality. But at the same time, I know for say I find myself in an economic system where there are structures in place, there are regulations in place.
Yes, because what you look at, when this economy, when inflation don't start, most of the jobs they increase their salaries, they increase them by so many percentages for able level with the economy. That not what happen at Sierra Leone, because now the rest of them they go up 2 or 3 times the price, but the salary stay the same.
So rice, when they increased the price the last time, rice we've been the buy now rice what was it 4,500? sometimes 500, sometimes 4,000 for whatever, 400,000. Sorry, I'm saying 4,000, but 400,000, 450,000. With this new increment, almost in a field for say the 50K, they can go for now.
You can go up again.
So for that you fumble, wait sometimes you they say, okay, make us send $100. So you see how it people, the phone lines are open. Please call and give your opinions and your views, because we want for you from Mona safe. So somebody where sometimes you get sorry at you say, this me cousin ya so, or this me auntie ya so, make her they send small thing for and within yourself you've made your calculation and you were okay with that. Now you don't find yourself now in a situation where you dip and you own struggles because things are hard where you are as well. Because when you go to the groceries, you realize that, listen, prices have increased. In fact, now the grocery store them I take notice say some of the bottle and then shrink shrink the size them, you know. No. If some commodities, if you have the one like say 6 months ago, go check them, and then the one where currently then at the shelf, you don't notice for say they don't either make the bottle tall small for deceive the eyes of the buyer, but then the content within inside small. Not to be in the same content as before. Vegetables are expensive. Everything is expensive at the grocery store. At the pump, it's the same thing. So you self you they feel the pinch, right? You they feel the pinch. The only thing that maybe you can say is fixed right now, because it's on renewal, by certain years. If you not get, the open one, maybe say something like your mortgage, or say something you car payment, then those ones are constant for a certain amount of time. So it's not that you have a lot of you get limitless waiting and call reserve. So you don't cut your coat according to your material. But then you get people them where they back home where you absolutely cannot turn your back on. So what does that mean to you out here?
But just for supporting the type of thing, the problem why make most of them tear shots in America or the other continent because of labor. We get enough labor. This is the difference between we and the overseas. Overseas country, right, and they go to them have most of the stores them empty because they don't get people there for do the labor work. We get excess of people them all over with no job at all. So we at least if them see the way they talk to them, they can implement. That's the way the government can say, okay, one for make farming, one for begin police rights. You get so many young men on the work right now. They go to them share by region, by party areas then for the party supporters. Maybe the visit for don't try for do something when a estate farm or then pay young people and they go work every day, then make them rest here, sell them cheaper to the country so they will help to fight the hunger. It turned out to politics. It was a good idea when they called the tractors then. It was a good idea so we begin make farming. But when
how many ministers then are the government get as farm? It's turned into a personal property, not a collective property. How many ministers in the government serving right now can tell you they'll put their I get this farm, this plantation, I get that plantation, I get this farm, I get that farm. But what evidence have we seen of this farming, going back into the society, going back into the communities? How have your farming benefited the communities and Sierra Leoneans in general? Where are these tractors? What's been the gain made? Wetin are the gain where they don't make? Wetin are the benefits? Wetin are the dividends where don't come? Where people then go say, now from Tomabom, this one ya so comot. Myself today, I don't eat from the soil without me having to cultivate. Make I take the person at the line. Call her, wetin are your name and also you they call from. Good evening.
Yeah, Mina Piers had a call from Kalamba Wala in the Lokomasama Children.
Okay, welcome.
Yes, sir, Mr.
What you get for with this evening?
Okay, which I get for una this evening, I just pick up quick now for the agriculture way they talk about. The agriculture, government able run agriculture institution at Sierra Leone because it is fail 100%. During APC time, then bring boku tractors and then tractors they all end up in Liberia and Guinea. The ministers they all don't sell them. I get approved for that. Within our land they do agriculture, they do farm, which I know. The price with the increase, this now it affects all over the world. I remember I traveled going to US recently. 2 years back, I go to US, I've been buy petrol like $2 something and become a picking and did it. Then this year, I kind of buy petrol like $5 something cents, which I've been go. So I feel like what you this woman they talk no more. The commodities they go to the grocery stores, the prices they go up. So and this then the first world country, the price go up there and they tell you the third world country with the worst. So things can get for be harder. America just announced a petrol no they can't on the pay after 2022. So think about Salone, how things can get for hard day. But the solution to this problem is people are too much depend on political propaganda rather than for all something for work and for improve the country. Me who start there right now, they can do agriculture. This are time they so they make a nursery for plant rest. But could they go sit down and they talk against government? People should be bring this, SLPP don't sell up. Forget about that in a waste of time. All which you need for do is work hard and improve the country. One person able to improve it. No government not the way one fail. They can only be unfortunate for fail. They not one fail. Anybody want make name. You know, this now thing we can happen, but we not can understand. But the people in Sierra Leone right now, political propaganda don't make things not hard. People just want to undermine the situation for let them say this government fail. And when this fail now, we all fail. If APC come on power, they meet them wire to zero. APC they stay on zero for the next 5 years. So that's if they fail. So to me, I want to let people then pick up, then change their mind. The mindset in Sierra Leone is not good for people. They don't want to work. People don't want to work. People they just go. At the work on Akisiro, then I see somebody they sell then they switch them. I ask how much you buy, I say 20,000. How much you get for profit now? I say 4,000. How much for plate rest? 6,000, 7,000. When you go sell ginger, mean say you go buy one plate rest. They all don't left up line, they don't can choke na free talk. Instead they live in a house is their way toilet self not daily.
Are you sure they're in Freetown?
Huh?
No, I mean just to ask you again. You sure said that they're Freetown?
What I mean?
Yeah, you say people and they left up and they all don't can choke na Freetown.
Yes, they're all don't left up line, they don't can choke free talk. Look at the population. I grew up now free talk, I play football like Kisiro. Look at it today. Bouncing Kotusa Bland play ball. People are not choke they may do nothing. They sell small thing there. We know they give them no income just in the name of. And I they tell you until I predicting to you. We get for buy for my idea because them boy they Obland claim Banga tick for court Banga then they can't leave because they all they go land for ride Okada. Now na my village in Asuna Kalangba. I tell them for one meeting as if not take care we go the chap Banga stick for pool bunter. And they tell you because nobody no one claim palm tree anymore. All man just come for go free talk. So you see, the youth themselves want do nothing. People are just move go na this city here. No plan, no just go sit on this in the name of living in the city. We not make nothing for the country. You know, bring income. Which then they get it, not they help nobody. We they pass, they say body. You know, who says if they drag na village with the kaya. You know, these are a big problem we get for Mona. People in need for go back and walk up line. You know, who can talk about people and fishing, but me not there this one, I can't about this one. I get rest farm now, what they pay me. Then when the time reach, I they eat. I don't sleep hungry because I get rest all the time. Not for money, I don't need money. If I get food, I don't need money. Not small money, no money. But I tell you, look free talk.
All right, So,
Victor will start not saying this again.
okay, caller. So normally we they give people in 3 minutes for talk. I left the caller make he talk small because obviously I don't see other person at the line. For make it continue. That's why I left the caller for make it continue. But the caller say the youth them they come off free tongue. They come off upline they go free tongue. Now, there is a topic I didn't want to really touch on
But you want to go to
tonight,
the
and
census
I
now?
will try my best not to touch on that topic because I left them for a later date, which is the census. If the theory of the scholar, if the theory of the census holds true, then the caller is wrong. But then if the theory of the caller holds true, then the census is questionable. Caller, waiting are your name and who's you they call from? Hello, caller.
Yes, hello.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Good evening, Matilda and CEO. How na they do?
We're doing
Yeah,
good.
long time.
Safe. Everybody.
Yeah, actually, made a call from US. At least I just want to tell thank you for this wonderful program. I think say una done this whole thing. I believe say one or two things that were responsible for this way hardship in our country. Now it's as a result of insincerity of most of the politicians in our country. Because if we see the way how government and they spend government past and present, and damn to enough here actually with the people them. Government past and present, and damn to enough here actually with the people them. Government past and present, and damn. Hello.
Now for turn the volume down. Who said the listen?
Yeah, turn your volume down. Also, you listen
Okay.
with so. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, so just like what you had to talk, the way how we government and this, then they do spending, it really wasteful. Yeah, at least we all they seen at them part of the world where we did. We they find out see the way how government actually then they take care of them spending, then they actually they spend when it necessary. We they see what thing they happen. Even if a president need for travel, maybe for an occasion, we maybe get the ambassador or whosoever within that country, they at least for represent them. But then they're not they happen. Waiting the president get for the left say Sierra Leone for council like United States or so for some other TV something ambassador can able to take care of. You see, and when you come out there again, some man don't build house. Fortunately, they appoint you as a minister or so. At the end of the month or at the end of the year, look the rent allowances when they give them. You see, you talk about car, until then they all like them party of the world all day. I believe say if they appoint you as a minister or something, at least you get your salary. Well, based on that salary there, now say the house where you go take, or maybe the car or whatever where you get for do based on your salary. You see, but when you find out say the allowances them, this that is so it's too much. You see, where actually they lead the country today to this kind of point. You see, where at least we only see the kind of hardship over the social media, how people and the suffer, transportation, all these things, which is not good. You see, until we get politicians here, we will be sincere with people them. You see, but they lies them,
this now you don't they catch up in this current president. So we just they pray to God at least let people know what they get for do which let the people decide. If the man do very well according to a manifesto, okay, then yeah. If they not do well again, at least then vote them out because it's so lucky at least we are democratic. We don't see democratic processes them in and out. You see?
Okay. Thank you very
Open a
much,
new
Kola.
thank you now.
Okay, thank you very much, Kola. I want to give chance to other people who are waiting at the line. I will go to the next caller. Caller, waiting at your name and say the call from.
Yeah, Una, good evening. Me they call from here in the United States. Una, they get
Yeah, go
me?
ahead with the listen to you. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, couple things. First of all, I disagree with the third caller and I agree with this second call, this last caller also. But Becca begin with the third caller, the previous guy. I'm not born upline, the people them come upline. Them born me in a Freetown. I grew up in a Freetown. But back in the days we they go upline for holidays and weekend and come back. The people them be lively. Everything be okay. Schools them in the place them in the work like in the case of Marampa, so people already McKinney, stay McKinney, then they put local, stay put local. You know, so things them be okay. Good schools them they like Lonsa, Miata, now one of the Miata what Adam they call it school, but now one of the best schools in a Salone. Okay, the work come, people in Canada Freetown. When in Canada Freetown, then can say them they wasting time for farming. You know, and part of the reason is when they don't do them business can Freetown, the people in Freetown ready for can cook them. Waiting, it don't suffer for whole year for planting. This is the way it come. The post within Freetown they wait for cancel and say the mango wake out all what you know. The orange all wake out you rotten. You know, it's very sad. So this person that 1-2 months in the state, so go the work come, wouldn't come, then send and then catch to them family members them. Then begin going on the streets and sell. I found out saying they make more money. Where did they sell? Pass with them, they spend more than they spend at village. Then they say not for go again. Now so then people are take them a Freetown. You know, in order for make them return back, they get a lot for do. We get a lot for do. If we go back and build them place in the back, care go schools in there, care go some to the attract and they for make them stay. Then go stay, they no go kind of Freetown. But if you they say
Okay, so caller, I know I go give you time back, but I just want to ask. Are you saying that there is a lot of migration towards Freetown than
because of of course, not a secret, of course. Because of
okay.
opportunities now Freetown everything there. So all man they can Freetown for can find a greener passion. That's what people that's what we own papa and can Freetown and can succeed, can be some champion in there and born we and travel abroad. So why me self go wish I get like me, I get me full of friends. We then get cows in a Kabbalah, but they always get problem with the other farmers and the them. So one day he called, he said, oh, they get people only they pay, but the people only they sit on the. And I look at him, I say, you expect other person for maintaining our heritage, our culture, our own way of life. We not all don't turn lawyers, we not all don't educate. What we don't do for them people in the way they under for let them self picking them go succeed in life. We don't go build schools in there for them. We don't try for make our face better running what I'm not saying time don't do now. That's what I don't do for let the people and stay. So at times it can worry me, even like way that big fool one call my Bangwa they talk one thing say, what you get for $2? You know, well this man even know able correlate, no the relationship between this Ogigi they sell this and this dollar we don't go up. You don't even know. All you get for so as a country, Bobo, it depends me.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
people.
thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much, caller. So again, 3 minutes with a key, but I extend the time a little bit so that the caller go wrap up in thoughts. I will go to the next caller, but before I go to the next caller, I want to say again for the second time, if the theory of this caller holds true, that there is a lot of migration towards Freetown, then the census is questionable. I'm not saying it's not right. I'm saying questionable. It's an hypothesis. Hello, caller. Who's are you call from? Waiting at your name.
Yeah, hi. My name is Mohammed. I call from Australia.
Okay, hello.
I want to firstly say thanks to you and my brother Med for the hard work and the platform on how to create, sir. I think when I do a great job. For me personally, see the topics we discussed today, they are important like any other topic we done discuss in the past. I personally found it very hard for discuss a lot of them topics about Leone because the fact is now Salone almost there's nothing you go for claims say no institution, no department, no sector would actually function properly. So today we talk about food, we talk about fuel price and all of that, and them areas and then they a part of a bigger picture. Okay, Australian today we have issues with any sector for function. There's no sector where anybody will claim say it function up to even 30%. As much as possible, go on for compare. But sometimes we need for compare to other places for know how we they do well or how we not they do well. This issue will get around fuel or food and people and labor. I think sometimes it's good for understand say if we look at other countries and other areas, and for example, let me go for Guinea. Guinea, most of the development, most of the achievements for the population they achieve, no, they don't rely on government. Now, individuals and they take the initiative. Government get a massive role for play, but naturally, it seems like the government of the day they're not held accountable, and so they do as they wish. And unfortunately, when you vote in one government, there's not much you can do until that term don't pass before you vote in another one where 75, 80% or even 90% chance say them back then will be very unreliable, corrupt, and even not achieve what them for do well. So it's very hard. So that could make another 8 years and then before 12 years and then so on and so forth. And make the country in a very bad place today, And there are endless amounts of examples how person go gear about how things need to go well. Like one of the brothers been just to talk about migration towards the Freetown area, urbanization. This is not a global issue, but Sierra Leone is it worse, And I personally know about situations where not even far from Freetown, outside the population of Boku, people then get massive land, like hundreds of acres of land, and they're not able to find people there for work simply because most of the young men and a lot of the people they rather go get Okada or and stuff like that, and no one go work on a farm. No matter what you do, no matter how much incentive you provide, and that makes things very difficult. So really, to be honest, it's very hard to discuss any other topic there because no system not there in place. We go hold any the head of any department accountable, because the Ministry of Agriculture, you get the Ministry of Energy and Power and Salone. Technically, then people in there, the population for hold them to account, then for the do them job. We're not for the here today and talk about how things the whole country not get light. Like the Australian, it's very very sad the situation with the country there. So to be honest, as a Australian, I know time don't go, but as a Australian, I feel very sad. Say we that we never for achieve as much, which is very difficult. So I could just like for leave them at that. I know say we can do more. I know say we capable of doing more. We just need to get good people and for come out wherever they hide. Now we'll be for work together and achieve something. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, thank you very much. So if you're not a follow the submissions them of the different color, there is a recurring sentiment, and the recurring sentiment now most of the youth them rather go drive Okada than they engage in other forms of job or other forms of employment or other forms of activities in terms of contributing. I'll go to the next caller. Caller, waiting on your name and who say you call from?
We don't get any more callers. You keep them.
Oh, okay, we're not getting. Okay, I couldn't see the screen properly. I'll have to just give me 1 second. Let me check something. Okay, yeah, that's what I needed to turn off. But can you guys still see me? No, yeah, no. But when I turn, it's okay. I know what's going on. It's okay. We'll fix it later. So a lot of the callers. So CEO, please keep an eye on the screen for me to let me know when we have callers, because on my end I'm not able to see it right here. So the thing is that a lot of the callers them, there was a recurring theme, like I say, then they say a lot of the youths them nowadays, and they go to Okada. But again, this is where people will say, Matilda, therefore I'm bugging, you're bugging. Like the Americans will say, you're bugging. But the truth is, I'm not bugging here. I'm just here stating fact. When the biggest job creation for a government is car washing for youths, what else do you expect them to do? Not only Siamo, when I go read the president's speech at Parliament, just rendered a couple of weeks back. When the biggest, here is a president who says, and a presidency that believes and says that we are in the 4th industrial revolution. And we as a nation have to set up the structures and put things in place in order to be able to compete in the 4th industrial revolution. If by that, our application of competing within the sphere, within the setting, within the globe of the 4th industrial revolution, now for put we picking and our car, or we use then our car, why are you blaming them for taking Okada? Because when the government sees no other potential in their youth, in their critical mass, but to put them within such tertiary, I will call them for now, just to be polite, systems of productivity, why do you blame them? Why do you point fingers at them? When the prioritization is not education en masse, knowing mathematics, knowing knowing technology, being there with technology, how you call it, engineering, and all of those things, it's not to educate the mass, because the mass that we have right now is our youth. Our youth population is a very dominant, it is the dominant set, not even a subset. It's a dominant set within the greater counting of the populace of Sierra Leone. And by conservative numbers within the international development sphere, a circle that I know too well and too familiar with, because that is where I deal, that is where I work. I have the data, I know the numbers, I know what is and what isn't. Whether I choose to say it or not is up to me. But conservative numbers, conservative estimate of the Sierra Leone population right now is put at an 8 point something. I won't call the final number. Based on projection and population growth. But then the mass of that population, the bulk, outside the bebe people then sit down, now the youth population. That gap between 14 to 35 or even 40, there are so many of them in Sierra Leone. So many of them in Sierra Leone. But when that gap, that your critical mass and that your human resources that you need to really boost your economy, boost your internal development, is subjected to this type of work, what do you get? So you see, before we begin, they blame the youth them for their course of action or their trajectory of line that they've decided to take. Let us look at where their leaders have pointed them to. CEO, continue.
Oh, well, you see, I understand where they come from, but the problem is sometimes we look at the problems, we not look at the cause of the problem. Some of we, like I can say all times programs say, I mean, they support the SLPP government or the BO-led government during the campaign because of some of them bright ideas that they can sell to we. See, they would do some of them things here. One of the bright ideas they sent to us was decentralization. They want for decentralized so many thousands so that Freetown go empty. When they call the idea, it was a very, very good idea, but they're not going to implement it. Now we talk about most of the district headquarter towns, like the Bo, the Kenema, the Kono, the Makeni, and the Potloko. If they put every major thing, say we'll get na Freetown and then send them to you don't need for kind of Freetown for passport. You don't need for kind of Freetown for do so many things. Again, for go now, for community village and car inside Boton or Kenema. That was what they used to do back in the days of small. They find a community village for kind of them big town, the Kenema or Bo or Kono, for can do their business and go back at them village. Now you find out the people in a village, they don't carry the big town or Aqueduton, they are in Aqueduton or Boton, they don't kind of Freetown. Even the ministers then. How many of the ministers they even get officers? Yeah, go ahead.
No one for cut you off, but just to give an example of that, what you're talking about, decentralization, even though it is not perfect, but at least I can forgive kudos where kudos is due. The decentralization of the justice system, where we see actually they appoint judges them to the different provinces them, instead of bringing cases them all the way to Freetown, they have a system within the province to deal with the issues. Waiting don't happen. It don't lower the caseload and the backload within the judicial system.
Yes. We sabi start something, but not sabi end up. Now the problem. They can start and fine, but not the end up. Because if even the ministers then watch them all, how many of them get office at the headquarters towns then? They all have Freetown all day. Then all they go up like one thing, then come back. So these are all things. You know, able to stop the one for come because all man they go for greener pasture. All man they go fire fence where they feel safe. Because just imagine man come up Freetown, it counts more 10 bags, it counts more money. If the man got Okada na Freetown, it counts small team in a village. All man they say they're successful. Just like we say overseas, they go Salone. So man, if you say right now, all man successful in America, like it's announced America had, they're not gonna believe you because where they carry out something. So all man for come to America, had the same kind of idea or the same kind of thinking they happen at them side of the day. When you come on a village, you can't have big town, you see a pen, you live in a big town. All man they go work small side and get small money, or compared to the village in a family, they go to they just ordinary years, they own already trade in the commodities like youngest or palm and this and that instead of physical money, they can't have big town. You can get more money, so that what you entire farm money make inside 3 months. You never move come. So we get for family for bringing them back outside them villages then to be able to stay. And by then, most people are standing the work. If you start the villages, they don't say they get them. You know what for free? You go for work, they go for the farming. So we get for bringing them force. Now we've got for do the things they need for you. For make sure say the village is very attractive. So somebody even talk on that, and that's the main thing. Even then, country, finance when they go to any building, anytime they build a shopping center, any year they build, make sure they put in that area, they will make it over other side, making over across now because only you still in that area, that you confined area. Back in the days, just imagine post office. First time you get post office now, every single time, then they can't leave a letter. No, how many post office? Not like that. One post office are going to have to when I just sarcastic street. So that's the point. You want anything major that you get for camp. So we go for finding for go first back and take them back. Young people are not asked for control because everybody want money, everybody want to live a better life. If you buy the Kenema, you put something like Kenema, like the football, they get football still in Kenema. You guys in every major town, everybody knows they can do. So they can for the day. You put the size and the go jobs and the go up go band. You put it at that center there, make it more attractive. I promise you, so man, where the future when I go offline because offline more quiet, and more cheaper, and more conducive, and not too crowded. People then will love it, but it's not attractive. You see, so I think say. I don't say me. That's where they go. We don't say where the government they talk about me. I support them. Where they come, then move away from all and concentrate on APC. They lose focus, and then we not already win the power. Now not power. Now we not do what we need for do. For that we could be they've lost focus. They need to go.
And
back.
you see the excuse of they said they will make the country ungovernable for us. Excuse me, you are in governance. You hold
just
all
politics,
the
man.
power. The baton
just
is
politics.
in your hand. You do as you please. You have the system within the circle of your palms. They can back all they want. They can bang all they want. But at the end of the day, guess what? When they say Mr. President, it's not someone from the APC. It is you. So at the end of the day, the buck stops with you.
Yeah, but we're not going to be independent in Sierra Leone. We're not going to able fight them here. We economy not going to be stronger if we not begin and produce some things for ourselves. Because the majority of them are China, Taiwan, other countries go because of the rest. We never produce not what we feel we will sell out to other people. So all international when you look at it, it's not going to be easy. Imagine we within Africa, I think I don't know if you remember that time we NPRC team with them agree sanction. Imagine that sanction with them agree people that cassava and they eat. They eat certain time food no day because people they can't afford it. We na people them way back in the days we all man get young family money go apply and get stay people they come on afford for go holiday food me day. This be that we all on to Yankee all money not turn now. So anytime we ship not come, talk about for them, we not eat. But what they make big talks we independent. Also we independent. We get to go back to the basic. I can enjoy anything but say we the one who be like Singapore. We not be like Singapore. We not do the things that Singapore do for you without Singapore be today. Not for say you want to be like somebody, but do the things that the person do for let it get to outside day. Singapore is for them to be independent. They try to do things that we don't say. It will make the country better. Okay, then so we get to call on the line. So make a.
Okay, make I take that, and that will be my last call for tonight. Hello, caller. Waiting are your name and also you the call from.
Hello, good evening, Voice of Salone. My name is Eric. I call from Texas.
Hello, Eric. Wait till you get
I don't. Yes, I don't follow Ona and I don't follow the discussion and personally, my own contribution where I get is. I think we will move from blaming them two parties, there APC and SLPP, and actually strategize, think about ourselves. Because I remember very well some years back we get census when APC been in position. Waiting and do the inflate figures now then strongholds. Who that complain? Now the people then complain. Now SLPP in a power. They don't inflate figures, now then strongholds. Who that again they complain? Now the same people, but it will interest you for no so that then same people that get for go vote them party they are inside into power back. Yep. I think we the people need for wise up. Because then two people na born food and they play with no more. Then when I come, then do them thing, then go. So if we the people are not wise up, but as it is now, some of them say who they talk to. if you talk now freedom outside some of the young man the way they set for, so if you talk some young man, it will get mind too cute for stable. So I think we need for wise up as a country and let them be left for full way and make we get sense, make we try something new. Maybe that will help with none and I'm take.
Thank you very much, caller. We get
Is it
one
we get time
last
for one more
caller.
caller?
Okay, I go give Bonya since today na return day, make I give Bonya. So caller, waiting your name and who side they call from.
Yes, not. Yes,
Do I
Atilla.
lower
Thank
you
you for
set,
giving me that
lower you
boyado.
set, lower you set so that
Yeah,
yeah.
this appears again the corner in village Akalanga. It's been a me first call and I mean they give me back. I'm happy.
Go ahead.
Okay. I tell you now, thank you. Muhammad, I can watching program and a man way I can get respect for. We can debate on them here, so for let people understand actually where they go on. We're not the oppose. But the problem, I will tell you, Matilda, go back and make these studies. The population, too much in Africa, the people who nothing will go there no more for tell people them, but because you want the way they are. And I will tell you, it's a problem again for the government, they're all where they come. 3 places and then are free term. If they straight to them places, then they will they make Wataki. 90% of the people that way they go inside Wataki now unemployed and call themselves agents. Where they go put the bicycle, then they get commission on top of you. The money where they go now the revenue is small. You go na road transport, now the same thing. You know, you go na immigration, now the same thing. Why government know they hire them people there, they pay them, then work in that place, then they just become agent, then call themselves agent, not a registered agent. You know, they pay tax in America or England or wherever they Canada. If you're not agent, you they pay tax. Then people are all just together yonder. If you go now Wataki, if you go road transport, now all and the only close, what you want, me na agent. We get 1 million, the money they go for that revenue, they something at 500. And inside get post in the office, so they take 300 from her. By the end of the day, it will go to 200. So you see the problem, this is like a fundamental problem we get so now, Sierra Leone. It don't the chronic per week. But the population is too much in Africa. Tell you. Matilda, I don't know who say you got, but the last name code, you for Sabi say will be big black tumbler and Mount Turel. Mount Turel, they look like. They don't destroy them with houses them. Water no day, latrine no day. Let the people there move, go back, go walk. Mr. Mohammed mentioned something show. Why somebody for go left Kenema for can't get passport na freedom? Therefore, don't open the department na Kenema for get passport. Even national ID, but she can't freedom. The government is like themselves no sabi set up for pulling people here back na the city. All man just can't flop no more. So me, thank you for giving me boya. I tell you na thank you. I go to participate in this program. I then I'm a small village. Me una know the but me they produce rice. Now we they produce our rice. So
Okay.
you know what?
Anytime I can
Me, no footstep. You know they complain to no government. Kanawala can work. They do farm. If they get you rest, you put you all rest. I get another right now. I get better.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I want to tell all the callers then thank you. The one that we didn't call not able to go through. There is always another day. This debate continue, this discussion continues. Today we actually hit on this topic. But I shall say, within the months to come, I am absolutely sure that we will revisit this topic again. So make we keep watch and what have you. I go give CEO waiting at your final closing for tonight.
I just want to say family and thank you. And then discussion we need like always, we get for sensitize yourself. God more point man for can go and do for we now we Salome to Salome for talk. Some people find out at the end of the day we all go and follow we don't move forward, we continue better because I don't care what we find ourselves around the world. Salone and we home. Salone, if it's Salone, we all fight for the Salone better than any side in the world. It go better if we start with attitude change first. Then we change your attitude. Don't be loyal, so we continue first than party. And I believe say the politicians not worry about themselves. Now we put them there. Now we get for all themselves accountable first. We'll blame that we want, but at the end of the day, now we put them there. So now we for all themselves accountable. Now we not the problem. Now we not the fault. We're going to sensitize yourself first and make sure so we take emotions out and think the right way for choose the right leader them. And also hold them accountable in order to do the right thing. And basically, if we do that, we'll continue to move forward. Because also then what Maya do. But again, I tell everybody thank you. The discussion importance that we continue. And thank you very much for bringing me over tonight. And I know say, circulate for balance, but
not try yeah. So fumble them. We don't come here so today. We don't have much small pants in them. We don't talk about the fuel price. When fuel can go up, the first word where we can hear now, but even pepper self go up, even ogi self go up. More so pepper. Bo ogi how dem call am Benny when I saw with the maker pepper when I saw with the plant but wetin una no can think about that woman where they sell that pepper and how this fuel price affects himself and in market and when make it extra pepper go up. Not only that way they go buy the bag pepper don't go up because the lorry wey transport the bag pepper been get for pay fuel. So therefore that lorry dey the fuel the price wey dem in the charge before for bring the pepper can say something at Dovecot, not only they charge again. When they reach Dovecot, the one where they sell on Jebu or whatever price wholesale, himself get for Esiun because they get for pay that truck driver. Where that truck driver himself get for making you money for buying a pump and still feeding family. And himself get for sell to the market woman where they go buy that one bag pepper, he get for ace the price come up. That market woman they back get for pay taxi or lorry or keke for care and go left and at the market who side they sell. Right? So himself get for ace in price come up because that keke way been they pay something 5,000 now na 7,000 they pay. You get? So now the same thing back with the Ogi business. So when fuel price come up, this is how I can say the trickle down effect. You see the price now the pump, yes, but the ramification of them price then they boku. Now the same thing you dey see na them private hospital them private clinic them. Because now the generator where then they run, fuel don't go up, then get for ASAM, then get staff them for pay. Then like there is an entire system that works together for make all them things so happen. But excuse me. Here is what I say. Can the government make it a bit easier on the people? Do they have ways within the how you see them sabi trick the book for explain them, padiem them, and then different trips them, even though they don't need to be physically there, they can do virtual meetings, they can send their head of missions, they can send their ambassadors, but they insist to be there in person, in the name of, solidifying bilateral or multilateral ties and building or restoring the name and reputation of Sierra Leone. The same way they can find the tricks then at the book for justify. The same way they can use, the same method they can use to alleviate the suffering of the people a little bit. If they really want to, they can. For me, I still believe, say, waiting with the call education as Salone, we still haven't gotten real with that discussion. And the advantages of having an educated population. The advantages of having a population where the education is 90, or make her be conservative, 80 and above. Education, understanding how economies, how things work, how things, one thing is a catalyst to the other. One thing that a microcosm to the other is very, very important. But in all this, the one thing I get for say is that I've come to believe strongly that Sierra Leone is the most tolerable nation on earth with BS. With threshold of tolerance of BS is so high, it's bang on. Because some of the things we absorb and we take line and sitting and not jumping and saying what is going on. We need answers and we need it now. There are so many. So many things that don't happen at Salone where I feel say, this is the time they will get up and, say something, do something, have a reaction. But to say, instead, very quickly, it will turn into a symbol debate. And when I say a symbol debate, you know what that means. Instead of looking at the core of the issues, you will always revert to a symbol or an individual or the glories of years past, not the realities of today present. We get for land for say true to each other. We get for land for hold we leaders them accountable. We get for land for hold we self accountable. We get for land for hold we comping them accountable. And until we start doing that and we are real with it, guess what? My sentiments not change. That word where I can talk, I still bring and come back again today. We go de totogbe. At totogbe we go de pan. So, if we won't forget about the totogbe business, let's get real. Let's ask for real change, state what you want, demand what you want, and you also be a partaker of the action of that change. You can point the fingers at the politician them all you want, but at the end of the day, we collectively, we have to look in the mirror and say, are we being honest to each other? Are we being truthful? Are we being loyal to country, or are we being loyal to a symbol? With that, I tell you all thank you. Until we meet again, I tell you tata. And I want to tell the person will give me exclusive rights to the use of a music original composition, Mr. Franklin Bonnie Johnson Williams. I want to tell you boku thank you for where you allow me exclusive rights to your music. And that music they now na yeri na me introduction, and now na go continue for yeri always na the show for as long as I am here. I thank you all, and as always, may God bless you all. And let us remember the land that we say we love, and let us do right by her. Unatata.